Hey, happy Friday. I'm Nick Oresco, and thanks for joining us for 22 News at 4 o'clock. As of 3:50 this afternoon, according to MEMA outage map, about 63,000 people are without power across the state. Most of that is in the eastern part of Massachusetts. Here in western Massachusetts, things are looking okay. Let's bring in 22 News Storm Team meteorologist Brian Lapis, who is tracking the wind and the rain out there, along with traffic.
Yeah, we were talking earlier before we went on the air, on the internet. The wind has been annoying, but not necessarily dangerous here. There have been some gusts over 50 miles per hour, but no widespread problems with the wind. Let's take a look at what's happening with traffic first, and then we'll talk about the wind. And you can see here, as usual at this time of day, we're slow downtown, but otherwise we're in pretty good shape. The Pike looks good. North of Springfield, I-91 is running smoothly as well. There is some road spray, which will slow you down a bit, but no major problems here on our roads. All right, let's talk about the wind. The wind advisory continues until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning for Hampden, Hampshire, and Franklin County for some gusts to 50 miles per hour. And the high wind warning continues until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning for Berkshire County for some gusts to 60 miles per hour. Our maximum wind gusts were significant. Look at this. This is interesting. 39 mile per hour gusts for maxes in Westfield, Chicopee, and Orange, and we had a 54 mile per hour gust at the North Adams Airport. So significant and certainly worthy of a wind advisory and a high wind warning. So be prepared. There have been some pockets of debris here and there on roadways, and as Nick was mentioning, some scattered power outages, and wind gusts are still over 25 miles per hour, Springfield, Orange, and that's it for right now. But the winds are going to pick back up as some colder air returns in here a little bit later on this afternoon and early tonight. We're in the 40s now in the valley. We're in the 30s in the Berkshires, and we will be below freezing, I expect, by 8 p.m. everywhere. We'll track it with the 22 News Storm Team forecast.
Now for your top stories at 4 o'clock. The Agawam Police Department is investigating a serious pedestrian-involved crash that happened Thursday evening on Springfield Street. Police said that at around 5:15 p.m. the department received numerous 911 calls reporting that a pedestrian had been hit by a vehicle. The pedestrian, a 41-year-old man, was taken to a local hospital with serious injuries. Police say the driver of the vehicle remained at the scene and has been cooperative with investigators. The crash remains under investigation. Pittsfield police are asking for your help finding a missing person. 44-year-old Michael Monahan has been known to live in Pittsfield, but also has ties to the Adams and North Adams area of Berkshire County. He may be with a German Shepherd. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you're asked to call the Pittsfield Police Department at the number on your screen. In Connecticut, the mother of the 11-year-old girl whose remains were found behind an abandoned property this year in New Britain was due in Litchfield Superior Court today. Police believe Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia died about a year before her remains were found in October. The girl's mother, Carla Garcia, her aunt, Jacqueline Garcia, and her mother's boyfriend were arrested days after police discovered Mimi's remains. Carla Garcia faces numerous charges, which are listed right there on your screen. She waived her right to a probable cause hearing last month. Today marks the deadline for the Justice Department to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. The records could contain the most detailed look yet at nearly 2 decades worth of government investigations into Epstein's sexual abuse of young women and underage girls. Just yesterday, Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released a batch of 68 photos obtained from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein that came from a trove of 95,000 images the committee received last week. The Justice Department has not said exactly when it intends to make the records public. Got some mild air for this afternoon. As of now, though, that cold air is pushing in.
Unofficial high today at Westover Air Reserve Base, 59 degrees. And that I believe, breaks a record. The previous record, I think, was 54.
Okay.
So anyway, yes, and what's happening now is that we're starting to see the beginning of the arrival of the colder air, which could cause a little freeze up here between, say, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock tonight. So let's get to it, shall we? You can see here from 12:47 to 3:47, the bulk of the rain is moving on out, and we're kind of in this in-between zone between the mildest of the air and the arrival of the cold air. And back off to the west, you can see these snow showers just west of the Hudson River. These will be rolling in here right around the evening commute, maybe toward the tail end of the evening commute. You can see it here in our 22 News Storm Team Skycast. 5 o'clock here this afternoon. Rain and snow showers transitioning to all snow showers. Most of this is done by 8 o'clock. Notice 7 o'clock, still some scattered snow showers, especially in the Berkshires. And then the clearing takes place. It's going to be windy here tonight and rapidly cooling off. So drive carefully and watch your step as well, as any standing water that's not treated is going to freeze. And I expect, again, by 8 o'clock or so, most of us, if not all of us, will be at or below freezing tonight. Overnight lows will be in the teens and 20s. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Sunshine, actually not a bad day, especially in the morning. Notice noontime sunshine, and then in the afternoon, clouds develop with high temperature in the 30s. We'll talk about the second half of the weekend and Christmas on 22 News starting at 5.
Popular social media app TikTok has signed agreements with 3 major investors to form a new U.S. venture to ensure its accessibility in the United States. The deal is expected to close on January 22nd. Half of the new TikTok U.S. joint venture will be owned by a group of investors. Each will hold a 15% share. U.S. data will also be stored in a system run by Oracle. We are in the thick of the holiday season, and according to data from Betway Insider, Uggs are the most popular Christmas gift in both Massachusetts and across the country. The footwear brand has seen an average monthly search volume of more than $4.3 million since September. Here in Massachusetts, the Oura Ring, AirPods, and pickleball equipment were also on the top of that list. Tonight on 22 News, starting at 5 o'clock, 5 of the 11 2026 ballot questions passed in the most recent certification process will give you an inside look at each of these questions. Plus, the state fire marshal has issued a reminder to use caution when using devices powered by lithium-ion batteries. We'll hear from an expert on how these batteries can be dangerous if not used properly. And one student received a generous scholarship on behalf of the Reserve Officers Training Corps. We'll have his reaction. Brian?
Traffic is slow downtown, as it usually is at this time of day, but otherwise no major problems. So we're in good shape heading into the Friday evening commute. Be aware, though, that rain showers now are going to transition to snow showers a little bit later on this afternoon and early this evening, and there will be some icing taking place as well as our air drops below freezing by 8 p.m. We'll talk about the weekend's weather, which is a little bit more quiet, with the 22 News Storm Team forecast on 22 News at 5.
We have updates anytime, all weekend long at wwlp.com, the free 22 News app, and always on 22 News Plus. We'll see you tonight, starting at 5.